Yay, hello, hello, Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler. Uh-oh, this has a playlist, broski. Don't do that. Hello, Deemer. 그림, 그리기는 즐겁군요. Yay. Okay. 아빠고. Alright, what is the phrase for today? I know what phrase I want to do today. Today we're gonna learn how to say shark tails are great in Korean. サメの尻尾はいいよね. 그래. Very important.
サメの尻尾はいいよね.
Oh, wait. It's actually really good at enunciating the thing. What the hell, dude? I was not expecting that. Let me check my volume here. What is happening? Okay. Looks fine. Alright, let's see. So in English. Very important phrase, of course.
상어 꼬리는 좋지.
상어 꼬리는 좋지.
상어 꼬리는 좋지.
Which one is what? Is this shark? Okay. Sang-o. Ah, okay, because it ends with a G, huh? Interesting. And it's got the double K here. I don't know what the difference is. They all sound the same to me.
상어 꼬리는 좋지.
상고 꼬리는 좋지. I used to be able to type Korean, so I would be able to type like the single one versus the double one, but now I cannot, so I don't know what the difference is. If I can get like the word in, then I can see what it would sound like, but 꼬리. Wait. I should learn all the different tangos. Oh my god, dude. Sometimes like me and my friends when we talk, we say each word in a different language, pronunciation or something, and it's really hard to understand who's saying what unless you know all the languages. Oops. Oh my god, what the hell did you just do, bro? What did I just do? Here. 그래.
상어 꼬리는 좋지. 상어 꼬리 좋지.
상어. 아, 쌍어네. 쌍어. 꼬리. 좋지. What the hell is this? Anyways, 비브 이네. 좋지. Hello, Rez. Welcome to Korean 101, where we learn stupid ass phrases that you probably won't use in real life, but it's very relevant to my stream. So we're gonna learn one Korean phrase a stream. So by the end of this year, we will have 250 of these useless phrases that I can just repeat to my friends in game. When do we have Puba? How about today? How about today? Special deal, 2-for-1 deal today. Let's do 오빠의 다이스키です. 오빠의 가 다이스키です. How do we say this? Let me get rid of these guys. Right, so of course, just to make sure that the English is here. Wow, I love milk. Okay, this is not a great translation. Wow, okay. It got very thirsty all of a sudden. Holy shit, dude. This is even more thirsty than what I've got. This is insane. Very cool, dude. Yes. It's basically 1-for-1. So it's really good for learning. So this is Mune. So the only problem here that we don't really know is how does the sort of where is the nuance, right? Because like opai has its own specific nuance in the language of Japanese. that you guys can appreciate even if you don't speak speak Japanese, right? Because it come across that pretty often. But the Korean version of this word right now that's being translated out could be really, really like formal, and we would never know. Well, Dima would know. So let me see. Let me get rid of this for now. Did the whole thing just change?
가슴을 아주 좋아합니다.
가슴을 아주 좋아합니다. So 좋아 just means like. 합니다. This must mean very much then. Yeah, hijo. So this means a lot. So this must be the breast, and then this is the particle. And very like this. Basically it's 1 for 1. So oppa ga daisuki desu. So breast, particle, very like, and then the ending, the proper sort of ending. The 합니다 is the des. And then you have the choa, which is ski. And then you have this何これ?
가슴을 아주 좋아합니다.
아주 좋아합니다.
가슴을 아주 좋아합니다.
가슴을. Okay. And then we have two phrases today. Yesterday's phrase, by the way, is 그림. Oh my god, it takes me forever to remember. Yesterday's phrase is art is so fun. Because it's very relevant. I don't know how to deliver it with a sarcastic tone just yet, but eventually we'll get there. Let me paste it in. Let me grab it from yesterday's board. I'm saving it in my. I like today's phrase better. Wow, that's truly very based, very based. Oh, whoops. Why is my reference zoom into the crotch? I wonder. Surely that doesn't mean anything. This is yesterday's phrase here. Let me put it in here. Yesterday's phrase is drawing is so fun, right? 그리기는 즐겁군요. And this literally sounds like jerk off, so it's very nice to remember. It just takes me a while to connect all the dots together. But yeah, so we have this thing that I will revisit once in a while during today's stream while I sort out my composition today. So going back to the thing that we're trying to do. So again, right, we're still trying to sort out our 3-point perspective nonsense practice thing, and we have the background kind of sorted out. Doesn't get striked? I don't think so. It should be fine, I think. So this is one of the scenes, and then the other one is over here where the characters are standing here and the light kind of casts itself on the characters. Not dissimilar to what this is like, but this one here is a sort of backlight kind of situation. This one is more accurate to the lighting, but it's a little bit different in scale. So there's a few things here. I'm introducing a third character. She will be introduced formally much later date, but she's just gonna be here just because I can. And then we have our usual 2 characters here. At this point in time, I'm actually trying to just sort out the pose. So I've been like in here for like a hot minute, and I'm trying to figure out how each character is gonna stand. Okay, actually doing the Korean thing actually kind of helped because I distracted myself away from what this looked like. So now I can try and make it look a little bit more natural. I don't know why it looks so weird. Nande? What do I not like about this? I'm so confused. Why does it look so slanted? It doesn't look that weird when I'm looking at the body like this, but maybe it is more slanted than I need it to be. Yeah, the pose might be a little bit awkward. Hello, Uni. And right, and the others are this one is not related. Actually, this pose is more accurate because it basically the other one character is gonna have fully stopped and then already position herself to take a closer look. I like the original stick figure sort of vibes. I do kind of want to get that going if I can. And then the other one is kind of sort of just stopped, like it's like just realized that she has stopped. I'm gonna be fidgeting with the thing for a bit. It's always very fun. Great fun. Wow, so fun, guys. What was it again? 그리기는 즐겁군요. Very cool, very cool. See, immediately applicable. Very, very useful phrase. The goal of the Korean thing, of course, is to just pick up some patterns as I try to learn different sentences that may or may not be vaguely related to each other, but they'll definitely be vaguely related to art, which will make it more relevant. And then when the basic grammar structure is solidified in my head, the learning process can expedite very fast and go up really, really quick. Because then you start watching videos, you start watching Korean VTubers, and then it takes like about a year to sort of start internalizing basically all the general grammar and all the general terms and all the general vocabulary. And then before you know it, you kind of have like a working set. And then you go talk to people, and then before you know it, you're just done with the language, and then you can move on. So that's the objective here. Okay, this looks more natural. Looks like she's like standing a little bit more naturally. The feet looks kind of weird, but then don't really feel it from this angle, so I'm gonna leave it. We might just use the shapes that we like or something. So at least Ria's kind of set. I'm gonna take a screenshot here before I accidentally delete the thing. So by looking at the perspective grid on the ground, right, like it's not quite the right angle that we have for ourselves here, because this is a lot more aggressive. The angle here. I'm gonna take this here. I'm still gonna take the Korean actually and save it. Sangwoo. Sangwoo? Sangwo? Sangwoo? Oh shit, I already forgot. 고리는 정지? 조지? 조지. 아, 오케이. 버스는 Oh man, I forgot how to read like some of the stuff. 우리는 조지. 가슴을 아주 좋아해요. 아주. I can't read it like from the Romanized thing yet. It just makes me want to read Japanese. Oops. And then as for the other character here, I want to match the... yeah, we can just kind of use this. Did I grab the high angle one? No, I did not. Okay. Atte nakunai? Koko ka. これでいいわ。Primarily the difference in the perspective. We could go with the first body perspective and then just screw the background and just have them disconnect. I think it's not gonna be that bad. And then we have our other one for Faye. I should have it in the same position. do you make the characters bigger again? You can do that, right? Scale? Oh. Ooh. How does this work? Oh, it only stretches one side if I do that. This is proportional. Okay. I can't sort out the scale myself, so I can just figure that out later. And then there's some more sort of storytelling that I could tell based on the way that I'm gonna add color, I think. So because given the two pieces, the two separate pieces, one is from each person's sort of point of view, right? So we can also use the colors that's used, like use specific color palettes for each one to sort of demonstrate the difference between personality and sort of how they view the world. So we can have one that is a little bit grayer. So the one that's bottom looking up will probably have less color than the one that's top looking down. It kind of gives the character's personality a little bit of a difference here. So I think this should be fine for now. I just need to sort out this thing now. One, two, what is this? What? Oh. I even forgot I put her in. So tiny, dude. Very well. Let's begin. What? So... Thereabouts. Cool. Hello, Yugami. Yeah, I don't really do my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nowadays, huh? That period of the stream is already over. Hello, Hana Komore. Disappeared? What do you mean, Nigami? I mean, maybe nobashi it. Let me stretch it a little bit. Yeah, no, I have thought of it a lot of times, I think. Actually, in the beginning of last year, there was a lot of talks about it for a bit. I don't know if I talked about it on stream necessarily. I can't remember where I talked about it, but I definitely thought of it. I see your request, by the way, but currently there's zero capacity. The thing about the stickers was originally, no, because originally both Miyazaki and George boosted the server, right? So we had like actually level 2. I see that you boosted the server recently, by the way, Igami. Thank you. And you know, it'd be great to have some custom stickers of my characters in there. But I wanted to be the one to do it. I even remember, oh my god, I'm gonna be eating my words too much today, but I even remember someone offering to do the stickers for me. If you go up in the requests chat, there was like some point someone was asking if I would like some stickers. I thought they meant, hey, would you put some stickers in? I misunderstood, but then they were actually offering. But then it was, I wanted to do it myself, but the problem is then there's no time. So it's the same problem once again, right? Like what I think I can do is let people, at least like you, George, and Miyazaki, people who have sort of contributed to the server directly before, you guys can come out with stickers, or a few stickers if you guys want. I can just put it in. But I think for my own characters, I have to be the one to do it, because that's the whole point of why I'm doing this. As much as I appreciate the offer. That being said though, Yugami, like there's a chance that down the line I might use my own characters to put in similar stickers as you might suggest, or you might want to draw for yourself. So there might be dupes, because each character represents a very specific area of the, I was gonna say just spectrum, but emotional spectrum. Just spectrum sounds like it's talking about something else, but yeah, like why don't we have like people suggest ideas and like they can draw it and then they can put it in. I don't mind, honestly, because we do have a lot of slots and I won't be using it for a while. Did I make this suggestion before? I know I definitely offered it for Miyazaki and George. I guess they were not interested in doing, yeah, like by all means, Igami. If you can let the others know. If they have anything goo. They wanna do goo. And then it's probably great like this too, by the way. Like to do it via voice chat rather than to do it via announcements, because announcement, it reaches everyone and that's great as well. But then I think there should be more of a, like people who are active in the server thing, right? Because those are the people that would use it. So I feel like, yes, I can offer it to everyone, right? We do have a lot of slots. But since we're talking about like stuff that is about, you know, what people are gonna use on the server, let's just keep it to the people who actually use it. It's like a special privilege, I suppose, of people who are active in the server at least. And I doubt you guys will use up everything, but I'll probably also find out like if I want to reserve some slots and how many would I like to reserve, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would be nice. I would hate that, like, if you guys put something in and then in the end I ran out of slots and then we have to kind of remove people's stuff. What's likely gonna happen if we ever get to that stage, by the way? I don't know if we ever would, but what's likely gonna happen is maybe we can add some stuff now, add some stuff along the way, right? When we run out of space, we might just have like a poll and we'll choose the one that we want to keep. And then we can swap the ones that we don't want to keep for something else. And that might be nice, you know? That can be like sort of a refreshing mechanic where stickers that don't get used enough, you know. Oh, I can get the bot to keep track of that too. How much how popular each sticker is, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't think you have to do that, Igami, because the thing is, we do have 50 emotes by default. You're talking about emotes, right? Well, I guess you're talking about both stickers and the emotes. Because I guess stickers only have 5 slots. But emotes, that's like 50 or something. So, yeah, it depends on, I guess, which one that you're thinking of. Doesn't it cost money, though? Is the thing. Surely you have the option of not spending money. Oh, you got it free? Ah, I see. Yeah, well, it's up to you. I mean, it's entirely up to you. Because if it only lasts a month either way, I don't know if anything would be using that slot in the month anyways, you know what I mean? But I suppose. You guys might get better quality in VC, right? I do think. Level 2. What does level 2 perk entail here? Oh, my keyboard is Japanese. Discord server level 2. Oh, sorry, level 1 or level 2? Are we level 1 right now? Or are we level 0? I have big brain. Oh, we're not even level 1, never mind. Yeah, you guys get, so what is this? 100 server total, so you get 50 more, 10 more stickers, 16 more soundboards, which you're also not using. HD streaming and audio quality. So yeah, you guys will actually benefit quite a bit, I suppose, from what's it called? The level 1 at least. And then level 2, you get even higher quality. And more uploads and stuff like that. This is so stupid. Why is it? Yeah. Okay, definitely do everyone a solid if you do that. And then I can upgrade the bot to keep track of emotes that we specify, and then you can maintain the document, and then I can check the stats. Yeah, if I don't forget, that is. Proportion looks a little off. I mean, she's gonna be wearing clothes, so it's not that big of a deal, I think. Hello, where's my stuff? Did I not put it here? I'm so lost because I keep switching between the two refs. I don't know where is what. I guess it's not here. Anyways, thank you, Igami. Hello, show. Hello, show.せやな、これがちょっとダメかにゃ。ダメですかにゃ。What do I want to do here actually? What am I trying to do here? I want to make the arm thinner. That entails just getting closer to 267 is close. I suppose it is. What number are we at? 263? 67 will be what? Next Monday, I think. Today's list is mostly sorting out this third point perspective anatomy bullshit, which is obviously very fun. By the way, whenever I say art is very fun, I have to say it in Korean. What is it again? 그림 그리기는 즐겁군요. Very cool. Wow, art is so fun. And I have to say in Korean. Shit. My god. It's okay, Uni. If you guys hear me say it a lot, many times enough, you guys will remember a wrong version of it. That would be really funny. Because my pronunciation, I haven't batted against like a Korean in real life yet. I need to make sure that I'm saying the right thing, honestly, because I'm just gonna be reinforcing the wrong thing for an entire year. Holy. Yeah, I can't relate, honestly. Other than the ones that sound the same, then it's a freebie. Because Mandarin made learning Japanese so much easier because like I can just map the sounds to a new word, and then that to a word that I already know, the new sounds to a word that I already know, and that was a freebie. Yeah, Korean has a different script, right? It's made it easier to know what the reading is, but at the same time, it also means I have to learn something new. Wow. God forbid you have to put in effort to learn something new. God forbid. What a nightmare. My god. Game is unbalanced. Don't know about a hair perspective, honestly, but it is what it is, or it's not. I'll fix it later, but let me see. This looks decently fine. Korean has a very hard sort of set of sounds to pronounce, though, is the thing. There's sounds in there that, unless you're Korean or like maybe you're learning some other language before, you've learned some other language before, would have never encountered, I think. That makes it really hard. You don't know how to move your mouth. And then, yeah, actually, especially when I'm just starting to learn, actually, I kind of have to really be very on point with the pronunciation. What I've noticed is that, like, if a lot of Japanese people that they learn English, they learn it from katakana, right? They learn it from the Japanese pronunciation of the English words. And as a result, it becomes really hard for them to remove that accent later on. Because they're so used to it. And the only way that I think that makes sense for you to sort of prevent that from happening is to just make sure that when you first start out, you're really on point with everything. You really have to make sure that, hey, I'm not using languages that I already know, sounds that I already know to do this. It has to be that language. But the only way to do that is you need a native. The good news is that the guy who taught me Japanese, who spoke Japanese with me, is a Korean. So, but the bad news is I don't have time to meet up with him because our time zones are not the same. Makes it very tricky. We'll find out. Let's see. Yeah, the hips are a little bit tiny, perhaps. Okay, so face. Wow, that's a great thing. I don't think her face would be very visible. Because this is her left side. which means that it's likely going to be blocked by hair. I still don't know if it makes any sense for her to be walking around like that. I don't think it would. You can assume that it's kind of pinned up though. I need to draw from the face because it helps ties the whole thing together, I think. If I get the face correct, then it gives me the confidence that the anatomy, once I sort it out, we're done. Otherwise, I feel like I have to go back and fix things. It feels like... it feels very sketchy. It feels very scary to do that. But this angle is very tricky here. Oh, actually, speaking of that, I think I do have reference. Yeah, VR chat, I think... Okay, there's definitely some amount of bias, right? Because if I am interested in content that's Japanese and I want to practice and speak Japanese, stuff like that, you know, you tend to be around Japanese people, you tend to be around servers with Japanese people, and people feel like they can all speak Japanese to some extent. So there is some amount of bias there. But other than like sort of USA, the next biggest, most popular place, the next country that likes VR chat the most is probably Japan, right? Because Japan does have a lot of events, both in real life and in game, with respect to VR chat. The most famous one that comes to mind will be the virtual market, which is like Comiket but like in game, and people sell 3D goods for the most part, in game. And in the past 2 years, actually, since 2023, they've been introducing sort of whatchamacallit, real life counterpart to the event, which is really cool if you think about it. So what happens is that you can kind of go to Akihabara. You can go to Akihabara in specific times of the year when the event is happening, which by the way happens, technically happens 2 times a year, one in the summer and one in the winter. So you could go to Akihabara specific spots, and there will either be sort of booths set up for people to kind of do like a real life in-person event equivalent of like, it's basically a Comiket but just for 3D stuff. There is that. And then there's also some other stuff. I actually don't really know. Yeah, it's been a while. The 2023 year, I was actually in Japan when that happened, but I didn't realize that it was a thing because it was the first year. Either the first year that has done it, or maybe it's not the first year, but I just didn't realize. Either way. But what I've heard they have is that they have this wall which they're projecting people's VR chat avatars on. So you kind of have to log in to like the computers there. And then as you move, it tracks your movement and it moves your avatar for you, which is kind of cool. So yeah, like it's a big thing in Japan. So it wouldn't be that surprising that a lot of people do speak Japanese to some extent, right? Also a lot of anime girls and stuff, you know? A lot of people who like anime content. It can be with their waifu. I mean, 50% of the people in VR chat is just sitting in front of a mirror staring at themselves without talking to anyone. Good stuff, though. Creepy if true. I suppose. It's just kind of bizarre, people sitting in front of walls. And the funny thing is, because a lot of these maps, when they want to optimize, they make it so that the mirror doesn't turn on, right, by itself by default. So what happens is that you just see people standing in front of walls, which is kind of funny. You know, I don't know if I can say this, but it's like the equivalent of like those people on drugs on the streets of America or elsewhere. And they're just kind of zombified. It kind of looks like that, but just in front of a wall. They're all facing the wall too. There'll be groups of people facing the wall. Yeah. Thank you, Dubey. Hello, Dubey. Oh, I see Resident Evil. Evil Knievel. It's not related. Wow, is this rendered or is this drawn? What is this? This looks kind of this looks like an in-game screenshot or something. So Pro Zombie Hunter, cool. Comics, illustrations, plays zombie and fantasy games a lot. Already very interesting. okay, is it me or does this remind anyone else of sort of like not safe forward styles? I don't know why this reminds me of that. It's maybe the sort of like strong reliance on line art and not so much like rendering, right? And the colors look really soft and like, you know, it's good for like getting a lot of stuff out very quickly. Delivering ideas, if you will. Oh, look at the attention to detail. Wow. What's this purple stuff? Oh, it's a signature. Very chunk. What kind of lighting is this actually? It's like light coming from us, but not strong enough to really set up that contrast, I guess. It's almost like an overcast sky kind of vibe. I see the hair. Do have a lot of extra stuff. What is this? Render setting in Blender? Oh. Interesting. What is the difference? I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't relate. Currently, this one just feels very. I don't dislike it. I kind of like it to some extent. Maybe it's the colors that I like. There's a sort of muted quality to the colors. It's not that super saturated, super vibrant. Not a lot of rendering on these. I just feel like she's not looking at him. She's like looking at the forehead. Hey, no, over here. That over here, over here. This is a meme. Is this bullying? Penguin bullying? How do those soft desaturated kind of renders? Wait, but show like this soft desaturated kind? I guess the word desaturation is not that relevant in that, because that's the color part, right? I guess you're talking about just soft. You're trying to express the softness, which I think primarily comes from the edges not being that hard. Like you don't really see a very clear edge. Even like the hardest edge is a little bit softened up. And then you also don't do as much value, I think, like contrast. I feel like that would make things look pretty soft. And as for desaturation, it's just like a separate thing, I think. Oh man. Like none of these edges here feel hard at all. There's like no very clear crisp cut. Like it's like this is like the sharpest kind of edge here, it feels like. But even then, there's like a little bit of sort of fuzz there. It could be the zoom though. Yeah, this looks really impressive here. This sleeve. I still don't like the compression fold shapes, but I think as I'm looking at more and more, I just realize I just don't like the shapes. It's not that I have anything against the rendering, I just don't like the shape. I don't like the sort of X, that sort of setup with the triangles and stuff. Dang, dude. That's very interesting to me, because like this is what happens with the actual clothing though. So if I don't like it, that means I want to stylize it. But like for the longest part in my life, I feel like I always want it to be as accurate as possible, right? So this is one of like the clear sort of aspects of the rendering that I do not want to go towards, which I find very interesting. Because it went against the rendering of her jacket, yeah. That being said, I also can't do it, so oh, very big fan, man. Very, very big fan. Wow. It's amazing. Huh. 3D printed, I guess? Oh, it's got its own case. Wow, okay. And some CDs and stuff. I never really played Resident Evil, I think. I also find it very interesting that the Japanese name is called Biohazard, but it got translated to Resident Evil. Because it's not like it's a Japanese name that got translated into English title and then they just decided to change it. It was an English name. But yes, thank you, Duvet. It's a very good clothing renders. It's the main thing that I've noticed. Everything else is great too, but like the clothing stands out to me a lot. Like Mega Man? Oh my god, Mega Man. Wow, okay, very sus. What is this? Contains security threats. Insecure protocol because it's HTTP, dude. Okay, this is understandable. If it's like a personal page, understandable. Let me just make sure this is safe for work. Took place in a mansion. Mansion. I think it's because of the first game it took place in a mansion. Why? That's why they changed the name? Yeah, I mean like the value range, right? The value range here is not that harsh. At least like within that sort of localized area. I feel like actually this reminds me. Didn't Uni bring up like a piece in the past and then was also commenting on one of her pieces? I remember it was like a girl. The one that Uni was drawing was like a girl in a pretty dark environment. There was like fire, right? And then the light is like a spotlight from the top. And then like the artist that was shared kind of have the same vibe where like there's just this really soft quality to everything. And at the end of the day, I think I narrowed it down personally. It felt like it was because that's like the same like sort of brightness grouping, right? I think that also Uni mentioned, where like that area seems to just have very close values. Like these areas have very close values. So there are really dark stuff, but this transition is like a very gradual transition. And I think that makes it really, really soft. I don't know if that sort of soft gradient vibe is like a post, like when everything is already rendered and then they have a layer on top and then they maybe do some adjustments overall. I imagine that would be the easiest way to go about it. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's great if you have a very clear direction, very clear set of colors and vibes that you're going for. That is really good, right? Like if I look at this, oh, my screen turned black. Yeah, the values here are like, if you look at the wheel here, it's not even close to like the bottom. Because like it's just hovering here-ish in the darkest areas. And then the brightest areas too is like not that close to the top either. So it's a very sort of clamped area in the middle. So if you just stick to this area here, I think you'll probably get the softness vibe that you want. Probably avoid super saturated things too, I would imagine. That I'm not sure though. I feel like super saturated, and like soft kind of feels like there's no contrast. That's why it's soft in my head. Yes, thank you, Uni. Because I thought maybe, I don't know if show would necessarily be interested, because the style is pretty different in other aspects. But in terms of the vibes, I think it was giving off. There were like areas where it felt like it was super soft too. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm slacking too much. Hang on. I am missing a lot of links. Okay, let me send these links first, just for people who want to check the artist out. But I also forgot to put Duvet's thing here. Do not take that out of context. Let me grab this real quick. Let me do my due diligence. And then I'm also gonna have to let me just open this up real quick. So what's one example here? Like there's a lot of like darker stuff on the side, like higher contrast, but within this area, if you look at just this area, like the really dark shadows are also quite a bit brighter than what it would have been elsewhere. And that kind of gave that like its own softness quality that is localized to that area. There you go, Duvet's dailies is there. But yeah, like you guys feel free to check out the artists. Yeah, I do like the softness quality. I think the kind of vibe that I would like is kind of like this, but then with certain areas that are very, very high contrast. So you can force like the eyes to go there. Yeah, the values are really grouped here as well, I guess. Huh. Soft, huh? Soft. Yeah, simplicity, lower value, some smooth edges. Minecraft artist. Oh yes, thank you, Duvet, and Show, and Uni. Minecraft artist, kind of like, I feel like I can contribute to that, but nothing. What is this I'm feeling? I feel like I know something that I can share. Do I? Maybe I don't. Anyways, interesting. Because I know in the past, I'm not even drawing with black. What am I doing? I know in the past, I like very, very far in the past. I forgot like how old I was, like maybe like 13 or something. But like when Minecraft was kind of first taking off, there were like a lot of these build servers, right? I think that's like VoxelBox was one of them. And they would have like very impressive builds in there. Back when like MC edit was not even that much of a thing. I don't know if that was a thing yet. I'm sure it was to some extent, but very limited capacity kind of thing. Minecraft as a base, Dong Song. Oops. Duvet's recommendation yesterday was just entirely Minecraft, in the sense that the Minecraft is the art. Oh. Yeah, hang on. Why is it not coming up? That's interesting. Wait, Dong Song? Oh, it autocorrected to Ding Dong. God damn it, dude. What? Why did Google autocorrect this? That's so weird. Yeah. Wait, okay, this might not be right. Wait, what is this? Is this who it is? Hang on, hang on, what? Oh, I see it, I see it, I see it. I see it. Yeah, it's just a perspective guy, right, I guess. And it's easier to use than Blender, I suppose. Yeah. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go to the washroom. Lamau. Was this competitive stream participation? Hello, Yugami. But yes, you are right. You are here first. Unfortunately, from my point of view, Sho, it looks like you have gooned more than Yugami. Yeah, I'm gonna make that. It's gonna end up being a competitive thing. Right, but at the same time, you see, Sho has been more active than you are, Yugami. Does that mean that you're doing something sus in the background? I wonder, I wonder. Sorry, Grandpa is just taking his pills here. Pills here. Because yeah, cause shows does have the crown to show for his activity. That's also very interesting. I think the eyes are maybe too big or something. Oh, it's a proportion issue. I remember going overseas with some friends, and then they were getting really sus because I was in the toilet for like an hour because I was crapping my pants out. My ass out. My pants out? Hello? Yes, I swallowed my pants. I was crapping it out. But, yeah, anyways. Safe to say they did not believe me. Okay, I need this eye thingy. Oh, what? Wait, what? Oh no, it's in the same. Oh, what is in the same thing? I thought it was a different board. Then what's this other board open for? Ah, whatever, dude. I'm so confused. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't keep tracking our artists show. So, by all means, recommend stuff, but I won't be checking out anymore because it's already 1 hour in, and I'm still not anywhere close to getting this done yet. Because we haven't sorted this out now yet. We need to sort this one out too. Yes. Thank you, thank you. Thank. Oh, maybe the eyes are be a little bit. Did I sequence? Yeah, I did. So it's gonna look potentially a little bit weird once I put it into perspective. But then if I do have this set up, it should be pretty easy to just transform things into position if I need to. So I'm gonna ignore this for now. Ignore the errors for now. Then I'm going to just push. This should be the same angle, I think. I can just copy this one. Uh-oh. I hope the music's not bugging out. It's probably peaking at the very, yeah, it's at the very limits. Just gotta be careful here. Yes, thank you. PTSD. Post my art. Postmyart.com. Post my art actually. Also, shit, how do I say this again? 상고 보리는 좋지. Oh my god, it's so hard. I'm really slacking off. That's so hard, broski. Let me get this done first, because if not, I'm screwing around too much. I'm gonna have to plot everything in first, because I cannot see anymore. So, let me see. The plan is to put the hair somewhere it doesn't get in the way. Gravity? Gravity down. Down is this way. Kinda. Down is fine too. And then this angle, because of where we are viewing from. Kinda big. Big head, but not big enough face, I think. That should be fine. Which one is this one? The other one. Okay, swap. Two angles. Okay. So pushing measure this all down. Hello, G-Talk. I mean, all the 3D stuff kind of is like the same, right? They're all really kind of hard to use. That's why I think learning it makes so much sense. Like, people who think, like, because it's 3D, you don't have to learn all that it's probably gonna end up spending more time fidgeting with it. And also, you kind of need to have some shapes that you like and stuff like that. So I think, like, learning is... You kind of have to do it, but sometimes you can't find the right pose. And this was the only way that kind of I can get a little bit more of an idea of what I'm doing. There's like no choice this time around here. I asked you, Broski. Proportion issues probably between the two. But even within herself, this is kind of weird. I don't know what the issue is. Let's use the maybe this tiny bit here. Well, yeah, this is you just kind of have to, I guess, I just have to keep pushing it around here. It's gonna be a while. I'm not showing that sort of angle enough, probably. Very big food. Very big. Alright, the angle that I'm viewing is also kind of different, so... it still not aggressive enough? I guess it is not. Maybe target high. Probably, yeah. Probably target high. Wait, now I'm on this layer? I thought I was on a different layer. Okay, wow, okay, yeah. I'm just all over the layers. Holy shit, okay. Oh yeah, not yet actually. This is way too early. The positioning is still not done yet. And the scaling too. So let me see. So I'm gonna size Faye by herself first, and then I'm gonna put her into the thing. So into perspective here. So currently, I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm not sure why just yet. I think the legs. Are the hips too big or something? Oh, god damn it. Together, please. She doesn't feel slender enough, that's why I don't like that. I'm not sure which part is the issue here. Oh, that's a year, okay. Very distracting. Oh my god, bro. All on different layers, man. I need to get this part right. So... does the neck look right? Trap this. It reaches the hips. Oh, okay, so kind of reaches the hips and overlaps at this point. Wow, that is very long. that's why things are not working correctly. So let's say this reaches. That's interesting. So it's a scaling value? And remove this. Oh, I just see that it's way behind. Is this front? Oh, front. But then it feels kind of off. Very cool, George. Oh my god, this is so cursed. Very hard, man, very hard. Like, there's a lot of things that's happening at the same time that is hard to tackle, right? In the perspective, first of all, the anatomy in this perspective, that's already pretty tricky, because I don't have any visual library to go off of. Second of all, two characters together, of course. Now there's scaling problems between each of them. Within the proportion themselves and also between them. At this angle. I'm gonna figure this out. I think Faye's not tall enough and she's not big enough. So I'm gonna slowly sort of inch my way up. Actually, let's just do this first. What? So it's probably closer to what we actually want. Let me just make her legs longer first. Smaller? Okay. I want to make it longer. The forms need to be more slender is what I'm feeling like. Should definitely go a little bit smaller though. Yeah, so there's two parts here. I'm mostly comparing her to herself first, so I'm checking with the forearm length because it's meant to be the same, right? Your feet length is your forearm length. And then afterwards, I'm gonna use the heads to compare the two of them. And then I'm gonna scale her up. Right now, I'm just trying to make her longer. Feel taller somehow, I'm not sure how. Yeah, I might have to put the wrap side by side, I think. I can't quite see it that well. No, but like... She doesn't feel tall enough, doesn't she? She feels kind of short in comparison. Shorter than she needs to be, I mean. Like, not 100% sure what the issue here is. And that's a big head, is it not? Actually, I'm not sure. Kind of diffusing already. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But Ria's legs are this long, right? For example. Assuming they have the same perspective, like neither of their legs are really. Maybe Ria's legs actually more forwards, so maybe we would see more of it. But Faye is taller by quite a bit, so I imagine the length should be same then. Maybe the amount of area we see will be about the same. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna keep tweaking it because I'm not satisfied yet. I don't know what the sort of the control knob I need to turn is at this point. I also don't know how the butt looks. Oh. Where's this? It's up here. Two cylinders. Shirinda. Let's see. Yeah, because Ria's legs actually extends out, I think, in this perspective. So technically we should see a bit more than what we might expect. Also, yeah, like this perspective here versus the one they were drawing, I think it's not quite compatible because this would have to do a lot more foreshortening. But I don't know if I want that myself. Yeah, my current plan is just to do this first, and then if I need be, I'll just squish everything in. I'll make them match first, somehow. This is turning this way, whereas this is still kind of facing forwards. Isn't necessarily a problem per se. Thereabout, mayhaps? There are boots. There's a new one, Uni. That one got abandoned, I just threw it out. I think primarily that one had a... The shape, I think, was just... Like, the setup... Kind of just a little bit too awkward, I think. The amount of light, the shape for the light was too small, it's like... And I think we wanted a strong contrast, would make... He would have made it, like, a little bit weird, I think, I guess. Anyways, didn't want to fix it. Dumped it out. And started on a new one. Lama. Yeah, I don't think this key is correct. Oh, I guess this is a shoulder width problem. This one I still kind of want to play around with the colors, ideally. because we have two different viewpoints, right? One from Ria's viewpoint, looking up, and then another one from my third character's viewpoint, looking down. And these two characters are different in the way that they view things. Well, I guess from Ria's case there, it's just, I don't know what she's thinking at all, but our new character is more of the happy type. So from her point of view, everything looks more colorful. Whereas from Ria's point of view, I think she'll probably see things as more for the way it is, perhaps. Maybe we'll put it that way. And then maybe Faye would just be even more pessimistic or something, I'm not sure. But so because bottom up is going to be Ria's viewpoint, I think the colors here would just be normal, I suppose. But then from top down, from her point of view, everything below will look very colorful. Like I'm thinking of like that one artist that Duvet loves, colorful, like over here, colorful. Maybe not to this extent because I cannot execute this, but definitely it'll be a lot more colors and a lot more vibrant, not just in the light but also in the shadow. Like everywhere it's gonna be vibrant, except for Ria herself. So basically, I guess I don't have this sort of set, but lore reason, maybe, you know, this character here is sort of able to see a person's personality and their qualities and sort of their true nature through the colors that are surrounding each character. And for everyone else, it would have maybe looked more colorful, right? Maybe she would be the type of character that would be able to see the good in people, which is represented by the colors that is there. So even Faye would get some colors, despite her also not necessarily being a very cheerful character. But then Ria, in alignment to the lore, she will basically just be gray. Or like super desaturated. I don't know how it will look, honestly. Because there is a difference between, I think, like more storytelling stuff and also more moody stuff. The moody stuff, I think, would be kind of ruined if I desaturate a singular character out to that extent. But then for storytelling, that is perfect because it sort of showcased the emptiness inside of her. So from our third character's point of view, it's the first time she would be seeing someone who is completely grayed out, in the sense that like there's no read. There is no personality, there is nothing inside. To her it would be like really weird, but to everyone else they cannot perceive that. And it'd be like sort of both. Yeah, it would be kind of like a setup, I guess. The two pieces here, if I can execute it correctly, it'd be a setup not just for, yeah, I guess mostly primarily it's just more about her perception than actually, if that's the case. But we'll find out. Something about the proportions I don't like, which is why I'm stuck here. I don't know what I'm looking for, as always. I'm gonna break the shapes out real quick. It's driving me insane. Oh, I left this in by accident. I also have no idea about Ria's proportion. I think she might also be kind of small. She might be smaller than I previously anticipated. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna cut down the shoulder width here. It's very long, but I did like the forms I had here. It's very long though. It's very stretched. Can I? It's a bit weird. I keep a copy of this. I'm gonna revert. Guess I need a copy of both. Huh? Full revert print. Oops. Cool. That's in it. Oh, god damn it. Okay, which one is what? 78, 68, 71. So it'll be these guys then. Actually, if that's the case, I should move the other one. The shoulders look kind of squished now. Yeah, maybe the other one's better. In that case, I move the adjusted one over. Keep it like this. Yeah, once the marking on the ground goes in, I'm expecting the perspective to look weird because the one we reference is not that aggressive. And we kind of want the aggressive version because she is very high up, right? Our other viewpoint will be high up on the building. So from her point of view, she is really, truly looking down like this. So I might have to spend tomorrow like squishing the legs up again. I can't help but feel like maybe it's kind of inefficient to do it like that, but at the same time, I also most of me feel like that's fine because I think a lot of this effort today is not wasted because it takes a lot of sort of screwing around to really get a feel for it. Is it like a comic? It's not really. I don't have a good idea of what is it I'm making, but I figured that since I'm doing like color practice, I might as well try to get some storytelling in and set up more lore for the characters and interactions between the characters, which is the current phase of so like design wise, that's the current sort of plan, is to just have the interactions sort of do some storytelling because I also have no idea what I want. And then art technical practice wise, it's just colors. So I don't know. The way that things are going, it seems to kind of set up this sort of, I don't know, maybe like some kind of art book kind of thing where you just have like illustrations. They're not necessarily connected by the same sort of story behind, but each piece is canonically correct and accurate, at least for the character personality. I don't think it has anything to do with the actual story I want to tell. So yeah, definitely not a comic. What exactly is it? I have no idea either. Guess we'll find out. Actually, I kind of wanted the head. I shifted it. Ah, this is fine. I'm okay. So I want the other 68. Yeah, I want this one to get moved over. And this 71. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of like a series of painting. Like, I think the word series kind of suggests like intention to make it a series in the sense of like it really is very haphazard. It is just whatever happens. right? We could be... there's no intention behind it at all. Like, I don't know if you're necessarily using the word series in that sort of meaning. You might not be, but the implication kind of feels like there's intention behind, but there's just no intention behind it, anything. Ugh. What do I want to do now? I need to put the characters kind of into the zone here. Yeah, but they don't relate to each other, you see. Like only these two are gonna relate to each other. But then, like the next one and this one is also not related to the previous one. You know what I mean? Like they are kind of separate. If you by series you mean these two, then yes. But if by series you mean more than just these two, then it's probably no. I'm not 100% sure. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, it really is only two. That's why I mean by like it's just kind of random. Sometimes I go outdoors and I just walk around and I see things and I imagine certain scenarios and then like a scene comes to life and then I'm just kind of putting that down on canvas. It doesn't fit into any bigger story. It doesn't fit into anything else. It truly is just kind of an exploration of how the characters will interact and maybe different environments and different textures eventually when we get to rendering. Yeah, that's no intention, I think. But I do kind of like the direction that is being set here. I think like the whole idea of a series of paintings is probably where I'll end up in the future. Because, I mean, comics, you know, mangas, those have their own difficulties. And I feel like what I want is to be able to paint, probably. Like, at least render really well. So if that's the case, then a series of painting would be the most logical way forwards to do some storytelling, I think. I don't know why that sketch... oh, it's probably one of these guys, right? Yeah, it's over here. I'm gonna borrow this real quick, so I have an anchor for the sizing here. Might be too big. Might have to do it the other way around. Also, this is just way too big. Hang on. I'm trying to match head size here. So the perspective, I think strictly speaking, is not right. But if it doesn't look too bad, I'm not gonna care. Because it doesn't take away from the thing too much at all. I'm kind of trying to match the head, but it definitely feels a little odd, yeah. Doesn't feel like there's enough sort of stacking going on. I think. Not sure. It doesn't look too problematic. I'll leave it for now. I tried looking for a free site to cross-post social media posts. Oh, I see. Yeah, I do remember like that was the thing, like cross-posting tools and stuff like that. Interesting. I've never posted to enough to really warrant it, I think. None of them are free. Yeah, man, Twitter is like self-deleting almost. Like, what is it doing? It's just imploding. It's so unfriendly. No, unfriendly is not the right word. It's so hostile. It is actively undermining a lot of things, I feel like. Cross posting. The only other way I can think of is to have a macro. So instead of using API and stuff, you would just basically program the actions in and then have it open on your browser and then automatically get it to just move your mouse and click and type and so on and so forth. But that would be very personalized because I think you just have to record it from my... If I ever get to that stage, I'd probably do something like that instead. Yeah, there are... I mean, I'm sure it's probably more effort than it's worth, depending on your experience with like all these sort of testing tools for a front-end UI. But there's tools like Selenium that just automates your actions that way. I honestly, yeah, I don't think it's worth the effort. I don't think, because unless you're posting so often, yeah, if you're like Modade drawing one like masterpiece every 8 hours and you're posting like to 10 different sites every day, that probably might be worth it. But otherwise, organize the text and images easily. So you're talking about posting, right? Not downloading. So isn't the work manually keying into the individual sites? Manually uploading, like choosing the image and stuff like that? Yeah, the best I can do is almost like a guide when I eventually get there of how to set it up, but then I imagine the setup would have to be done by every person separately if anyone's actually going for that idea, because you need to have logged into your own thing so that it will work and so on and so forth. The good old botting days. Yeah, well, okay, wow, Igami, that is very interesting that you brought that up, because you know, in the past I was looking into how to make money online, right? Passive income is like a big thing, right? Like everyone can appreciate some passive income, and you guys see all the bots on Reddit and on Twitter and on Instagram and all that. So basically, there are websites in the past that would sell these managers, and they're called social media managers in general. And they will manage like hundreds of different accounts, and each one is going to be each one has its own sort of IP proxy, and then it will automatically log in, automatically post depending on the folder and all the image and stuff you have set up. It will automatically do some engagement farming, that kind of stuff. That's the social media management that I'm used to hearing about. Yeah. And you can buy IPs by the hundreds. It's all very interesting stuff. I mean, you know, it doesn't really help the internet and the greater community as a whole. But from like a technical perspective, it is all very interesting stuff. How it works behind the scene. Art influencer? Probably not. I don't really like influencers just because there's too much talk, I feel like. There's not enough doing. I just want... I appreciate people who don't talk, but just do. Right? Because, like, too many people are just talking. That's why I kind of hate my own stuff. When I talk about things and I don't have stuff to show for it, it feels very bad for me. That's why we're here grinding this out. I can stop talking and just show. It'd be nice. Am I our influencer now? I kind of need this tail to interact with Ria a little bit, but maybe Faye is just sensitive, but she would be paying attention anyways. I kind of want to set it up so that the tail is the reason why she's aware that she has stopped. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. As a motivator, oh my god, the motivators, man. It's like also kind of just talking about stupid shit. The leadership principles that were taught to me was to do a lead by example. You just kind of do things. You do so people that follow you, they can see that you're doing. And then yeah, and then you earn respect that way. Oh man. I've seen some bad examples in the past, I think. Oh yeah, I've also seen stupid people doing stupid things. I've seen my friend put himself into the X-ray, you know, like those X-ray machines at like let's say airports, right? Those big ones for their luggages and stuff. My friend put himself through it. That's kind of funny. I mean, it's not that funny if you think about it, but it's also kind of funny if you think about it. Like either way, it's he's done it. He wanted to do it because he's a bit of a dumbass. I don't know if he's alive or not. I'm pretty sure he is. I mean, unless you're really, really unlucky. You're probably not gonna get cancer from that one trip through it, right? But yeah, interesting. The images were interesting. It wasn't as high resolution as I thought it would be, but it was interesting. So thank you. Alright, we got our basic setup at least. So this is our basic setup. After like 4 to 5 hours of grinding out the anatomy and like the perspective and the lines and whatnot. They're still not even dressed, by the way. And my third character, I don't know how she's gonna work because she's gonna be so tiny in the damn building. Unless I scale up the building, which is also a possibility. I might have to do it actually. I might be forced to do something. No, Igami. It doesn't kill because it's protected on the outside, right? People on the outside doesn't get hit. I'm talking about him going through the machine, into the machine. I'm talking about like the... So like you have the sort of curtains here, right? Oh my god, I have no patience to draw it nicely, but... Yeah, and then you have the conveyor belt kind of going this way, right? And then it feeds things in, for example. And then you have the machine that kind of goes across like this. I don't know how to draw it. And then usually you have the metal detector right beside it or something. And then it's got the beepers, the sensors on top, and then it's got the gantry here. So you put your luggage here and then you walk through this. This part is all shielded, right? It's all shielded. And the X-ray is very directed. I don't know if it's down up or up down, but it doesn't really leak out the side either. But he went through this. He went straight through this. He did do it for science. Yeah, the image that came out was very fuzzy. I would think, you know, you would kind of expect to see like his skeletal structure or some shit like that. But maybe he was moving inside the machine or something. It came out like all fuzzy. But great stuff. I hope he's still alive. I wonder what the dosage is inside, because there is a difference between like this machine and your normal medical X-rays, because the medical X-rays, they only need to kind of see 0 and 1s, right? They just need to see the stuff that goes through and didn't go through. So the resolution is not that high, whereas this machine here, the way it works is that if you look at the screen, depending on how each material reacts, it will show a different color on the screen. So the resolution required here is a little bit higher. So I don't know if that means the sensor is more sensitive. I mean, I'm sure the sensor is more sensitive, but I don't know if it means it needs to be a stronger source or not. So maybe it's stronger, maybe it's not. But yeah, great stuff. He wasn't very popular, actually, the guy. I don't know if he was doing it because he was trying to become a little bit more popular. He was not popular because he was very petty for a lot of different things. But it is what it is. Also, this is the character. She's meant to be like an actual furry character, which will make it a little bit tricky because I never know how to deal with the hands. Because the Japanese, like, how do I say it? The pure furries would draw with like really big fingers, like really thick fingers and stuff, right? They would draw like paw, hands, thingies with like the paw pads in there. Oh man, I kind of suck at this. But I never really liked these hands because they're really big, like they're very big, right? So either you have a really slim sort of wrist, or they usually sort of bump up the size of the forearm, which I don't think either one looks very good. And then they have the paw pads here too, by the way. Yeah, this is my third character. Well, by order of creation, this is 1, this is 4, and this is 3. She came before Faye. But then she's not brought online because her stuff is a little bit less relatable for me. She is the sort of basically she is the opposite between of Faye, essentially. And Faye is very much based on myself and how I view things. So that's why she is very counterintuitive, I think. Which makes it really hard for me to do, because I need to make the character make sense. The 2. She is the furry, like if you look at ZZZ, right? Isn't there like a new furry character that came out? Right? She'll basically be something like this, right? But I don't like the hands, is the thing. I don't like how big the hands are. And yeah, and so the feet. So there's like a lot of issues here that I kind of have to sort out. Not really sort out, but just like reconcile with myself. Yeah. Which one is the number 2? Number 2 is 134. Number 2, her stuff is also I haven't talked about her at all actually on stream. That one will be even more interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so we have 2 unnamed. They're technically all named. All of them are named. But they're just not released. Unreleased. And next banner. Each one of them is kind of like a specific area of representation. And then I guess... But I mean, at the end of the day, they all end up being Kemomimis at the same time. But at least she is more furry. Whereas these are like the anime furry, and she's like somewhat in between. Oh, is that what Mume is actually? I thought Mume was just like they just like the sound, but does it actually mean no name? I can see like Mume can mean no name in Japanese, but I never made the connection. Because I don't see why she would be nameless, you know, like it doesn't fit my image of her. Why that concept is associated with her, but got a character up here. Also, if you can't tell, I kind of drained myself today, so I'm a little bit I'm just kind of like doing stupid stuff and not really drawing anything, but. She's just gonna be a tiny fox on the balcony here, looking down at our duo. She's got no history type shit? I see. Wow. Let's not do that. So we need clothing for all of them as well. This is no longer gonna be winter themed. It's more of well, what kind of vibe is this? Not summer, I think. Summer feels too hot, even if it's in the evening. I don't know why. Like the whole idea of summer being hot is too strong in my head. I think it'd probably be like spring or something. Alright, anyways, now that this thing is done, I'm gonna do a refresher on my Korean. Shit.
상어 꼬리는 좋지. 가슴을 아주 좋아합니다. 그림 그리기는 즐겁군요.
Oh my god, dude. 즐겁? 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 가슴을 아주 좋아합니다. Duolingo time. I need the Korean chart actually. We need a chart and then that maps the pronunciation to the to English word so that I can remember because I keep forgetting the up downs. Is that vowel? The other ones I'm okay, I think. This one. Yeah. Yo. Yo. Like these ones are confusing. Yo. Mu. You. Put. I remember this as like or something. And then there's like 5 bajillion A's. There's like A, yay. Then this is also A and also yay. And this is also like way. Then there's like eh. Oh no, this is eh. Wait, no, this is hen. Wait, what? Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna forget about this for now. O. So this is O and this is O. 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 Sango. Wait, is that O? It is, right? Oops. What? That's the thing.
상어 꼬리는 좋지.
Yeah, 상어. 상어. It writes O here, right? Which is why it's so confusing. Because it says O here in Japanese too. Wait, no. Is this O? Oh my god, I'm getting mixed up again. 아이유의 어? 아키쿠케 거? 자, 어. 상어 꼬리는 좋지. 좋지. 가슴을 and they have this nonsense where like this same letter here, right? This K letter, where is it? This can be G or K, right? And then this can be D and T, and then it depends, I think, on the word and the position of it in the sentence. So that makes it very confusing. And then what is the difference between this and this? I also have no idea. And then like reading it, being confused, one thing, right? When you're writing it and typing it, wow, that's great because you have all of these different ways of saying basically the same sound. I also have no idea how you're supposed to know which one you're supposed to use, other than just like forced memorization. To be fair, English has a lot of weird stuff too, right? Like there's a whole series of like though, thought, enough, cough, and then what? Through. You know, they all have the OUGH in it, but they all sound different. So honestly, English is like kind of the worst offender of them all. But we're just kind of used to it because we grew up with it. 그리기는 즐겁군요. 상어 소리는 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 상어 소리는 그렇지. 가슴을 아주 좋아해요. 좋아합니다. 아주. Okay, very cool. I'm gonna forget about this in like 5 minutes. So yeah, we kind of have our setup here. Let's go find them some clothes or something. What do people wear nowadays? Let me see spring fashion or something. Spring fashion. I'm gonna save this in here. Now we have a Korean PRF. Very cool. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Spring fashion. But it makes sense, let me think. Okay, let me see. So this little fox here, she's the one that's meant to be like the fashionista kind of character. Her whole sort of purpose is to let me draw a bunch of different clothing. Because the idea is that she's just pure white, right? She's just gonna be completely white. So any clothing sort of that goes on her, the clothing is like kind of the main thing then. So it might be interesting that even though she's kind of technically at home or, you know, like in some kind of a place, some kind of an abode, she might be better dressed than like our two characters down here, especially probably Ria, that probably doesn't care. Likes fashion in the sense that there's a large variety. And then Faye just likes to be cute, right? And then as a result, I think Ria might be dressed a little bit more cutely than she would probably do. Actually, she probably would just walk out naked anyway. She doesn't really care. So yeah, my original idea was that because the character would be plain, the clothing would stand out, whereas Faye is the opposite, where the character has a lot of shit, and the clothing tends to need to be a little bit simpler, because otherwise it'd be too noisy. I think... So what colors am I going for, right? Like, I think it doesn't matter too much in this case, because the plan that I had was that the color palette of the two pieces here, right, it's going to just be some kind of orangey, pink, purple, kind of very bright stuff, and then some darker blues over here. Again, you know, it's the same orange-blue palette. Same thing for here. In both cases, I think the sort of color variation... how do I say this? I'm trying to set it up so that the color of the light is a very strong thing. Like, it's very strong, it's very saturated. So the individual colors of the pieces of clothing, for example, wouldn't necessarily be too obvious. Because under such strong colored lighting, I imagine it would be a little bit more monochromatic within the realms of sort of orange and purple, for example, in the light, or like in blue for the shadows. So I think the colors wouldn't matter too much. But if we were to choose color, right, like what would be the difference here, right? In terms of like lore and character design and sort of the thinking behind everything. I have no idea. I have no idea. Actually, yeah, I have no idea. What that means to me is that after we've been streaming for so long, I come to realize when I have no idea, it just means I need to just do any random thing. Like if I just decide on something random. Like if I just, let's say the first one in the list. What is this? If I chose this, immediately I have some thoughts, right? So for Faye, I don't know if she'll like the long skirt just because of the tail and the stuff like that. Rhea would definitely hate the long skirt because she feels like she cannot run. So it might end up going with shorts for Rhea again. She might be like the shorts kind of character. Let me think. Colors wise, the tail, yeah, everything I'm gonna watch, right? But even then, the tail will be significantly darker. Oh. I'm looking at this framing. I guess the frame should be centered on Rhea then, actually. Do I want that? Oh, actually, it depends on the colors. It depends on the light shapes. Where is it gonna end up? I don't know if composition... Oh, okay, no. So the shadows themselves are gonna be jagged. But then, like, I think maybe it's possible to have sort of Faye's head sort of silhouette against the shadow here. So that people would catch... So anyone looking around this area, they get caught on her face and she's looking back at Rhea. So it kind of redirects the attention back in. So maybe that's like a compositional idea. And as for over here, we've got Faye's tail sort of wrapping around Rhea, also framing her a little bit more, sort of emphasizing her. And this part might contrast her face out a bit more against the darker tail. So it should be interesting enough. And as for the framing of the entire thing, yeah, we can see, right? Because the shadow doesn't really matter. I guess maybe ideally the light shape should be right smack in the middle to make it a little bit more balanced, rather than having it skewed to one side. So maybe based on that, we might not be able to have just Rhea right smack in the middle, for example. So I feel like they're kind of small, huh? Because like the original, the character is kind of like half the length of the bar here. So if I kind of have half the length of the bar, it would be kind of like this size, I suppose. They have them a little bit closer to the bottom. Or actually, she can be... Yeah, they can be right smack in the middle. Yeah, okay, they can be right smack in the middle. Okay. So no movement restriction. That means our fox up here might actually be better in a dress, perhaps. Because she's the counter, right? She's the exact opposite. So maybe whatever that we don't want to put here, we want to give her instead. So she can have like a longer skirt. It will also block out the legs, so I don't have to draw it, which is great. Always good to do less work. So that's one thing decided. I kind of like this kind of thing. I like a big oversized clothing. And I feel like maybe, yeah, maybe... Let me see. So the difference is what? Like, the difference is that we have people walking, right? Like, so if you're walking, you tend to make more heat. Yeah, Rhea is probably gonna be feeling pretty warm, so she'll probably be very lightly dressed. Oversized clothing plus like loose clothing, thin clothing plus like shorts probably will be her thing. Faye will be doing what exactly? Faye might have a light jacket on, maybe? Like a very light jacket, perhaps? Just so we have a bit more variation, not necessarily because she would need it for any reason, I think. Oh, she could be more stylish like this. It will oh yeah, it still interferes with the tail, but could be interesting, I think. Like why not? Like maybe give it a try here. So for our fox, we've got her a long dress. At least the bottoms are kind of decided. The top, I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe like a beret. I think eventually this fox would probably be pushed a little bit more towards French, sort of more actual fashion kind of ideas. I'm not really sure. My understanding of that is very, very abysmal. And so for you, you get a big shirt. You get a big shirt. Let's see. Give her the shorts first. Maybe she is even more lightly dressed. But what else would make sense, though, is the thing, right? Because it's not like she's running, right? It's not like we go to that route. The hand is kind of blocked, right? So I don't know if they will allow this, actually. Maybe not. Maybe lore-wise, this might not be possible. I don't really see what I'm looking at. What am I looking at? But then, yeah, the clothing just hide everything. It will look like she's not wearing anything on the bottom, but if it is a big shirt, then that would be the case, I think. Oh yeah, there's also the tail, huh? Let's leave it like this for now. What if I give you something? But then if she's really well dressed, then there's no way that Ria's walking out in like t-shirts like this. I don't think. Oops. Let me find something else then. Let's see. Very beat jacket. Very loose though. Looks kind of warm. So she still needs to wear something on the inside. Going out for a stroll. Makes sense, I think. They will be too lazy to dress up. She'll put on giant ass coat and then that'll be that. That sounds like her. That's good work. It looks kind of fashionable. Looks very casual. Looks somewhat comfortable. That's cool work. I'm gonna go for something like this. Faye could wear it. Maybe they wear the same thing. Let's see. This is nice. I do like this. Very, very nice to this. Kore. Yai. Oh yeah, perspective. Perspective. Put them up. Very, 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 very cool. This dude. Well, the crotch is here, right? Wait, where is it? It's here. It's too high up then? Do not know. But like room wear though, like room wear, even if you do like fashion, you wouldn't just wear it, right? It would just be room wear, but more fashionable room wear. Yeah, at least we got the anatomy done. It's taking pretty long. But yeah, it's nice to have the structure in there because I know that this is not wasted time, even if we do get end up covering a lot of the anatomy up. But we set out to practice perspective and anatomy and perspective, then this is exactly what we wanted. We managed to develop a bit more new ideas, new compositional ideas. So this would be colorful from box POV. Priya is gray. Then we have the counter to this, which is oops. What? I don't know what I'm writing, but in general. But yes, I'm just gonna continue tomorrow. I think it's getting to the point where I can just kind of roughly decide on the clothing. Because I'm not trying to necessarily practice clothing seams and folds at this point. I think that's part of more rendering stuff. When the specific shapes come into play. Anatomy, I think, is different because it serves as a backbone and it needs to be done well. But then since the clothing, nothing goes on top and nothing really, it doesn't really do too much from now on. I can just kind of hand wave it. So tomorrow, I want to leave a gap because I could have started inking, like getting a cleaner set of lines for the anatomy, but I just want to sort of space it out and get a feel for the anatomy tomorrow first thing when I come back into this. And but yeah, what do we need to do? We just need to sort of get a set of cleanish lines. And yeah, and then we can start basically. Because I need to see if the perspective is okay. Am I okay with this? Now actually it looks kind of a little bit, the characters are a little bit too big relative to the crossing. We can probably find like specifications for exactly how big the crossings are, because I'm sure that's like a minimum size limit that it needs to be. I can ask ChatGPT to find it for me or something, and then we can do some scaling that way. They don't look as tiny as they would in this one, but I might give it a try by squishing some of the parts tomorrow, but then I don't think it would be that important. So I'll just get a clean-ish set of lines, and then we can start the colors. Which hopefully doesn't end up being too hard this time. It should be a little bit easier, I think. Should be a little bit easier because we have some colors that we tried before. Yeah. Anyways, I'll hop off here for today. Thank you guys for coming. Have a good night, guys. And see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.